Hello and welcome to this semester's final edition of the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. I'm Nathan Robillard. Thank you so much for joining us. This week, we take you around campus to check in with students during finals week, visit the Musicians Guild EP release show, and of course, Zach Petrick will have you covered with all things Rhody athletics in this week's Rhody Sports Corner. Finals week is approaching here at URI, and with that comes a packed library and an extremely stressful period for many URI students. Morgan Judd went around campus to see how students are feeling as they prepare for the final push of the fall semester.
Finals week here at URI are fast approaching, and today we're asking students how they're doing with their final exams and what study tips they have for other students.
I'm a little bit stressed out because I'm a freshman, but I feel like I'm managing it well because I started learning how to study when I first got here, so I feel like it's going
I honestly haven't started studying yet, but tomorrow's the goal, and I'm gonna plan out every day what I'm gonna study exactly.
Do you guys have any study tips you'd like to share?
I just feel like repetition. I like to use the whiteboards in the library a lot and just write out all my notes.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, or just really sticking to a calendar of what you're supposed to study.
So how are you doing with final exams coming up?
I'm doing good so far. I'm kind of trying to stay as on top of it as I possibly can, but I am really tired. I was in the library until 3 a.m. last night, so, but I do think that it's going okay.
Do you have any study tips that you'd like to share with other students on campus?
Yeah, I would say that rewriting your notes is super helpful, and then also making sure that you attend the last few lectures and stay kind of on top of that. And then also, yeah, I would say, is it okay to say that I use ChatGPT to generate problems for myself? Because then I can work on them and then go back and ask for tips on how to answer them and all that stuff.
Don't procrastinate. Make a study plan. Yeah.
Get a paper planner that's really pretty and write it all down and then cross it out because it's so much fun.
This is Morgan Judd with the Good 5 Cent Cigar.
Thanks, Morgan. Next, Owen Tierney took us to the Musicians Guild EP release show, where the club gathered to celebrate the release of a local band's newest project.
Last night, the URI Musicians Guild hosted yet another on-campus concert featuring local talent from around the state, this time with one group hailing from New York City. Here is the club's president, Victor Paulino, detailing more.
So we had EP release show for Aim at My Organs, this local band in Providence. And we also had some student bands like Cough Drop and Baby's Breath. And we also had a touring band, or not really a touring band, but just an out-of-state band, Looking for Frogs from New York. And we were just able to combine all these forces of people we know to produce an awesome show, an EP release show at the end of the semester. So the show went awesome. We really appreciate everyone for popping out, especially when everyone's knee deep in finals and exams and projects. And considering it's the last Friday of the semester, it was just awesome. We appreciate everyone for popping out. It was awesome. And next semester, we're just going to go bigger. Guild is only on the way up. We're going to book bigger shows, bigger bands, bigger events, bigger everything. And that's it.
As is so often the case with this club and their events, students were exposed to the talent and drive of some local musicians. I'm Owen Tierney, reporting for the Good 5 Cent Cigar. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Owen. In light of a new law in Australia passing a bill to ban social media for anyone under 16 years of age, we were interested in what students had to say. Casey Chan-Smutko went around campus to find out.
Hi, I'm Casey Chan-Smutko, and today I'll be walking around campus asking students' opinions on Australia's recent social media ban.
I think it's good in theory, but I don't know if it really works well in practice. I think there's a lot of resources for young people that they might not be able to access because of the social media ban, like children who are in abusive situations or LGBTQ children. So I understand why they're doing it, but I think that a different course of action should be taken instead of outright banning it for everybody under 16.
Should a ban like this happen in the US?
No, I don't think so. I think it's more the social media company's responsibility than the government's responsibility to be moderating this stuff. I think that social media companies should work harder to make platforms safer for kids. Like, I know Instagram's rolling out some sort of feature that helps kids have like parental controls or something like that, and kind of help moderate social media. I think outright banning it is not really the move.
And if you were a parent, what age would you allow your child to have social media?
I would maybe say 14 or 15. Even then, I'm kind of iffy on it. I think when social media started, they mostly said 13 and up, and I feel like that's I'd probably say 14 or 15.
I do feel that social media should have, of course, an age requirement. I think it should be below like 13. I think 16 is a weird age because like everyone's going to be on it. They're going to lie about their age. It's the same as everything else. So I don't agree with the ban.
Do you think a ban like Australia should be in the US?
No, I do not.
I think overall that for younger children that social media isn't like so much of a great thing. There's a lot of stuff on the internet that can be damaging, mentally to children in the forms of like, cyberbullying, harassment, such like that. I think that maybe 16 is a little bit too late, but I do think it definitely will have benefits for younger children.
Should a ban like this happen in the US?
I think it probably shouldn't. I think Americans' feelings towards personal freedoms would feel sort of attacked under that. We have a long history with, people feeling their personal freedoms are being infringed upon. I do think it could be beneficial, and I think that, staying offline is good for children.
And if you were a parent, what age would you allow your kid to have social media?
I would probably wait until middle school, high school. I myself didn't have social media until I was a freshman in high school. I think that's probably a pretty good age. You're not so used to like always having a phone to checking your social medias yet. It kind of lets you live a good bit of your life in the moment as opposed to as you grow up getting more online.
This is Casey Chance-Mutko from the Good 5 Cent Cigar.
Thanks, Casey. Now let's take a look at what's going on this week at URI. To help students take a break from the stress of finals week, the library will be hosting a number of fun stress relief activities as part of Health Services Unwind Your Mind Week in the lobby. First, on Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., students can join in making their own overnight oats and learn about the importance of healthy snacking. Then on Monday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., students can indulge in sleep kits and tea to promote sleep awareness. On Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m., stop by the Ram's Den for the Student Involvement's Sugar Rush, which will feature holiday-themed stuff and animal event. Take some photos with Santa and enjoy your reading day. On Saturday, URI will be hosting its fall commencement ceremony at 10 a.m. in the Ryan Center. Make sure to reserve your tickets for those attending, and congratulations to all fall graduates on behalf of the Cigar. Finally, on Sunday, be sure to make your way down to the Ryan Center at 1 p.m. as the Rams take on Central Connecticut State University, looking to bounce back from their first loss of the season. On that note, I'll kick it over to Zach Petrick with this week's Rhody Sports Corner.
Thanks, Nathan. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Rhody Sports Corner, your place for all the latest updates in URI athletics. I'm Zach Petrick. URI and Providence College renewed their annual rivalry on Saturday in front of a sold-out Ryan Center. For more on the Rams' first win over the Friars since 2019, here's Peter Gigliotti.
Well, as many Rhode Island fans already knew, for the last few years, Providence College has dominated this rivalry matchup. But on Saturday, the tides turned in the Ocean State as URI took down their bitter rival 69-63 in a performance that Rhody fans will never forget. The X factor for the Rams was, funnily enough, Providence native Sebastian Thomas. His 19-point performance led all scorers in this matchup, but one shot with 24 seconds left, up 3 sealed the deal. Thomas stepped back from beyond the arc, nailing a dagger three-pointer, closing the door for the Friars and sending the Ryan Center into a frenzy. This win marks the 9th straight for Rhode Island and could be a turning point for head coach Archie Miller.
I also think that, we have a much more connected group. I think that our guys respect each other a lot more. They know each other a lot better. Yale and Providence, these two games are high major games. They're both terrific teams that are going to have battles all year round and try to position themselves for championships or postseason deal. These were two high major games that we were able to finish at home, which you have to do to have a great season. And I give our guys credit. We've had a number of guys throughout the course of this season kind of step up and help us when we needed to at different times. I do think that's the mark of a together team.
And with conference play on the horizon, Miller and his squad will look to carry this momentum for the rest of the season and continue to etch their names in the Rhode Island record books. From the Thomas M. Bryant Center, Peter Gigliotti, Rhody Sports Corner.
With a pair of double-digit standout performances, including the Providence win, Sebastian Thomas was also named the A10 Player of the Week. Now let's take a look at some of our other scores around campus. URI men's basketball returned to the hardwood on Tuesday following the PC win, falling to Brown and snapping a perfect 9-0 start to the season in their first true road game. Women's basketball was also in action, extending their winless skid to 4 games with a road loss to Harvard before hitting the road once again to take on Princeton. Football's record-breaking season came to an end with a 17-10 loss at Mercer on Saturday in the second round of the FCS playoffs. Men's and women's indoor track also got their season started, with both teams sending athletes to 3 different events in Boston, Providence, and Kingston over the weekend. Finally, women's swim and dive split their dual meet with a pair of conference opponents on Saturday, falling to LaSalle before defeating UMass. That will do it for this week's edition of the Rhody Sports Corner. If you want to stay updated on all things Rhody athletics, make sure to follow us on social media at @cigar_sports. For the final time, back to you, Nathan.
Thanks, Zach. That's all we had for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow us here and on Instagram at Rhody Cigar and pick up our print paper anywhere on campus to stay up to date with all your Rhody news. For the very last time, I'm your host, Nathan Robillard. This is the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. Good luck on your finals, and thank you so much, as always, for tuning in.